why you are here?
Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your man, Big Brandon Carter. Today I'm going to talk to you about sleep and how it pertains to you as an athlete. Whether you're playing a sport in school, or even if you're just lifting weights, like more than 3-4 times a week, then I would consider you're an athlete of some sort, you know, like, or at least you train like an athlete. Looking at yourself as if you're an athlete. If you're training really hard, you need to approach your sleep the same way an athlete will. So I always get like, every time I talk about sleep, some fucking asshole talks about how, hey man, you only need 4 hours of sleep, or you only need 6 hours of sleep, man. That's all you need. You know, that's all people need. The studies that show that people who get only 6 hours of sleep are healthier than people who get 8. And there are studies that show that. But you gotta remember that in these studies, these were just regular Joes. It's different when you're talking about athlete. If you're training like an athlete, your body might have different demands than a normal person. Let me show you some of the shit I'm talking about. Here's the study that everyone cites when they talk about 6 hours of sleep being healthier than 8. It goes like this. Basically, you know, although it's common belief that 8 hours of sleep is a requirement for optimal health, 6-year study of more than 1 million adults aged 30 to 102 has shown that people who get only 6 to 7 hours a night have lower death rates. Individuals who sleep 8 hours or more, or less than 4 hours a night, were shown to have significantly increased death rates compared to those who slept average of 6. The same doctor who conducted the study says right here, we don't know if long sleep periods lead to death. Additional studies need to determine if setting your alarm clock earlier will actually improve your health. But he added, individuals who now average 6.5 hours of sleep a night can be reassured that it's safe, that it is a safe amount of sleep. At the end of the study, they note the best survival rates were found among those who slept 7 hours per night. So the study concludes that 7 hours seems to be the appropriate amount of sleep for average people. That seems to be the sweet spot. But then again, I mean, this is one of those studies, they didn't have any reasons why, you know, so it might be one of those instances where correlation doesn't equal causation, you know, but whatever, we'll take the study at its word, and let's say that 7 hours is optimal for average motherfuckers. But we're not talking about being average, are we? We're not about being average here. We're talking about elite peak performance. All right, so let's dig deep. Let's dig a little deeper. National Heart, Lung, and Blood Association, blah blah blah, they give recommendations about how much sleep people should get based on age. Newborns are recommended to sleep 16 to 18 hours per day. You know, like if anybody's been around a baby, this guy sleeps all the time. Like I've even read that by the time baby is 2 years old, he's spent more time asleep than he's spent awake. You know, they're sleeping a lot. Preschool age children, they need about 11 to 12 hours a day. All right. School age children, they should get about 10 hours of sleep a day. Teenagers, they recommend getting about 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Then as you approach adulthood, and once you're an adult, 7 to 8 hours of sleep a day, right? Like we said before, like this study says before, 7 hours seems to be the sweet spot. So why do you suppose you need more sleep when you're younger, right? Why does a baby need so much fucking sleep? Why does a baby sleep half the fucking day? Because it's growing. Children just need a lot of sleep. Why? Because they're growing. All right. Now let's go back to this study. 7 hours of sleep for an adult. How old were these people in the study? They were at age 30 to 20. They started at age 30. All right. The average Joe who's around 30 is not lifting weights. He's not growing. He's not trying to grow. You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference. So if you're not planning on growing, the average 30-year-old is not lifting weights. He's not planning on growing anymore. But if you're planning on fucking growing, then you're gonna need more sleep. You grow in your sleep. That's why fucking babies sleep so much. You know, that's why children have to sleep all the time. But let's get into it even a little more. So let's go to WebMD. They have an article about can sleep improve athletic performance? Most people need 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. If you're an athlete in training, you may need more. Just as athletes need more calories than most people when they're in training, they need more sleep too. If you're pushing your body in practice, you need more time to recover. So let's go back to the study when it said everyone says 6 hours is better than 8. People who slept 6 hours live longer than people who slept 8. The people who slept 7 hours live longer than people who slept 6. 7 hours was the sweet spot. But if you need an extra hour, but if you're an athlete, you need an extra hour, which is 8. That equals 8. God damn it. Regular people can get away with doing regular shit, okay? But we're not talking about being regular. We're talking about peak performance.
James B. Mass and Haley Davis write about how getting more sleep can change athletes' performance overnight. Literally, and their strategies don't just apply to world-class athletes, they can work for you too. Joining us now to talk about all the benefits of sleep are Dr. James B. Mass.
Interestingly enough, we take professional athletes like yourself and we give them 1 more hour of sleep. We make sure every night they're getting a good night's sleep. And we make sure they don't get up too early in the morning. And even at the pro level, like where you're at, these people are amazed at what happens, that their performance absolutely improves when they add that 1 more hour of sleep. We take professional athletes in sports where it's common for them to have early morning practice, swimming, figure skating. We cut that early morning practice out, and guess what? Rather than exercise at all, but just doing it once a day, their times go up, their reaction time improves. All sorts of things happen in terms of their creativity, their critical thinking, their risk-taking. After you practice something like a 3-point field goal routine or like your golf swing, and you get it just right under the coach's eye, if you sleep 8 hours that night, your performance, your motor muscle memory goes up, averages 20% increase in performance time. Not unusual to see 40%.
That old man is right. Here's another study with athletes by Stanford University. 5 members of the Stanford's men and women swim teams increased their sleep goal to 10 hours per night for a period of 6 to 7 weeks. This led to improvement in speed, reaction time, and turn times. Swimmers shaved the average of 0.51 seconds off their 15-meter sprint, and you know, they got faster and a bunch of other fucking swim shit that I don't know about. Out of the water, swimmers reported reductions in their levels of daytime sleepiness, improvements in their mood, and more energy and less fatigue. They went to the tennis team, increased their sleep goal to 10 hours per night for 5 to 10 weeks. Players improved their sprint times, dropping from an average of 19.12 seconds to 17.56 seconds. They also increased their serve accuracy, going from an average of 12.6 valid serves to 15.61. Come on, man. What else, man? Then they went to the goddamn American football team. 8 weeks attempting to sleep 10 hours per night. Extended sleep resulted in improvements in their 20-yard shuffle. The average time decreased to 4.1 seconds from 4.7 seconds. Yo, I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, man, but that can be the fucking difference between a sack and a touchdown, you know? To their 40-yard dash to an average of 4.89 from 4.99. Telling you, man, it doesn't sound like a lot, but in American football, that is the difference between a touchdown and a fucking sack, or a goddamn, and a touchdown and a sack can be the difference between a championship and, you know, crying on the bus home. Players also reported improvement in their daytime energy levels, mood, and reduced daytime fatigue. Basketball. For 5 to 7 weeks, 11 members of the university's basketball team extended their nightly sleep to 10 hours. As a result, shooting accuracy among the players improved significantly. Free throw shooting improved 9%, and 3-point shooting 9.2%. That's a fucking big increase. That's a big increase. Just like the doctor said, you know, if you're practicing a skill and then you go to sleep, you become better at that skill. All of you know, if you study good for a test the night before and you go to sleep, it's usually you already got it. You know, usually you have it after that. That's because sleep has a lot to do with your cognitive functions. So basically, I say all that to say this: if you're a regular adult and you're not concerned with growing, you're just a regular guy, 7 hours seems to be optimal according to the research, right? But if you plan on being, if you're an athlete, your body has more demands. You're putting in more demands over your body, just like you need more calories. You're gonna need more sleep as well. It'll help with performance, and it'll also benefit you as it pertains to muscle acquisition. There's also studies that show people who sleep more have more testosterone. 7 is the sweet spot for regular people. Athletes need more. At least an hour more. So how do you get an hour more? What I do is there's supplements you can take to help. I know all you guys, you get in an uproar when I start talking about supplements, but whatever, you know. I take supplements, and if I didn't say what I take, I'd be disingenuous. So I like ZMA. It's really just zinc and magnesium. I take this before I go to sleep. There's also some evidence to show that it helps increase testosterone levels. I think this shit called GABA, GABA. This GABA is a neurotransmitter naturally found in a lot of foods, you know, like certain fruits, red wine, stuff like that. But I don't want to eat that stuff before I go to bed. So GABA is how I get it. 5-HTP, this is an amino acid. It's not found in food. Your brain actually makes it. Your brain produces it, but this just gives you some little bit of extra. It relaxes you and increases serotonin levels. I also take melatonin before I go to bed. Melatonin is not found in food. It is a hormone that your brain actually secretes. Man, it helps you go to sleep like a motherfucker, man. It gets me tired as hell. I take it before I go to bed. And this is how I usually get between 8 and 9 hours. I say 9 hours, but I probably get about 8.5 hours of sleep per night. You know, that's probably my average, 8.5. It's been beneficial, man. Like, it just helped me with my gains. I had my testosterone checked like a few weeks ago, and my shit was almost 800. Right, like it was just under 800, and the average testosterone levels for someone my age, 32, is about 625. So like I have the testosterone of a fucking 19-year-old, you know, even though I'm an old ass man. So anyway, that's the importance of sleep. I just want to talk about that study because every time I talk about sleep, people come up to me saying, "Hey, 6 hours is enough, man. 6 hours is enough," and 6 hours is enough if you're a regular guy. But if you're trying to perform at an elite level, if you want to be better than regular, then you might need an extra hour. Studies show that you need an extra hour. Now, if you just want to be a regular ass guy, man, then yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's if you're an adult. If you're an adult and you're done growing, 7 hours is enough. If you're a teenager, you need more, man. If you're in college, you probably need more. That study that said 6 hours is enough was for adults who aren't athletes. It started with people aged 30 and up. All right. If you're a kid, you need more. If you're in high school, you need way more. And if you're in college, you probably need more, man. You probably need more if you're in college, because there's still a lot of developmental things going on in your brain. Like when you're in your 20s, your body may be done growing, but your brain is actually still developing a lot. Your brain is very elastic in your 20s, so you're learning a lot. You're learning how to be an adult. God damn it. So your brain is going through a lot of changes in your 20s. And I think that's, if I had to guess, that was why the study was done with people above 30, people my age. But it's still, I consider myself an athlete, so I still get the extra hour. So whatever, you guys can do whatever you want to do. If you want to find out more about these supplements, I'll put links I'll put a link in the description where you can check them out. Or anything you put in your body, you want to do your own due diligence. Make sure it's something that you want to put inside your body before you just start taking it. You know, I'm just a fucking guy, you know. Like, you don't have to listen to me. Like, do your own due diligence and see what's up, all right? Hope that helps.